Hi, I hope wherever you are you're doing really well. Now in this video we're going to explain really quickly what a disc bulge is or what a slip disc is, what you can do when you've got one and how you know if you've got one. So chances are if you've got one, everything hurts. Coughing hurts, getting out of bed in the morning hurts, you may be getting pain across the lower back, shooting down into the leg. If you've got a disc bulge in your neck, you might even find that the pain's actually shooting down your arm or you're getting burning pains down your arm. There's a few things you can do to relieve the pain and we're going to walk you through those shortly, but first off I just want to explain what's actually gone wrong. So if we cut you in half, so if we cut you this way and look down into your disc, what we're going to see is a jelly button shape. So your spinal cord sits back here, belly button's out the front, and then you've got nerves that come out either side of that spinal cord. In the center of this disc, you've got a sac that's filled with jelly, and it acts like a ball bearing so that you can flex and pivot and it moves. Holding that in place is layer upon layer of ligament, and you can think of this a lot like the layers on an onion. That's kind of how it stacks up, and that's just holding it in place. Now from day to day, you don't feel if there's any damage going on into this, and the reason is there's no nerve supply in a disc. So you can damage it and you won't even know about it. So every time you step off the gutter and you feel that twinge, or you lift something that's too heavy and you think, I shouldn't have done that, but then you kind of get away with it, it doesn't hurt. What you're doing is slowly letting that jelly bust through layers of these ligaments. And you still won't feel anything, and your body just, you might get a twinge, but over a week or two, you're back to normal and you feel pretty good. This is extremely slow to heal because it's got a very bad blood supply. So things like smoking, poor nutrition, a lot of wear and tear are going to aggravate this and accelerate this process. But very slowly, you'll break through these layers until there's really only one thread that's holding you in place. That's when you hear of someone who cough, or they'll just go to get out of bed, or they'll get out of their truck, or twist to pick up their car keys, or something so insignificant it's not even funny, and then all of a sudden they're in this significant searing back pain. Their back goes out and they can't move. And what happens is that final thread, well, it's the straw that broke the camel's back, it deforms. And so now the disc changes shape and you've got raw nerve pressure pressing on that spinal nerve. That then leads to inflammation, it leads to more swelling, which is more compression, and you go through this pretty severe pain cycle. Now when this happens, you really can't do much. Most people, they try and just lay down, they try and rest, they take painkillers. It's really not the best thing to do. The absolute best thing you can do is keep moving and keep upright. So just walking, literally just walking, or just doing some simple range of motion exercises where you're bending from one side to the other. In particular, when you're doing these bending exercises, depending on what side that disc bulge is, sometimes your body will tense up and try and get you off that nerve. And so you'll see people leaning this way, and this is called antalgia. And it's because this is comfortable. And if they try and straighten up, it just gives them this severe pain in the lower back. In that case, you still want to try and do your range of motion exercises, but try and stay within a pain-free range of motion. You can also go forward and backwards, but just having that gentle movement helps suck that disc back into place. It just helps get some blood supply to the area so you can start to heal. Walking is the same thing. What will happen though is when you lay down and go to bed of a night, you'll feel okay. You'll then wake up in the middle of the night and you'll be in bad pain, or you've got to roll over, the pain's terrible. You try and get out of bed and the pain's even worse again. This whole system is hydrating the second when you lay down. When gravity's off the system, it starts to hydrate, swelling kicks in and you get more compression. So when you start to stand back up again, it's severe. And this is why we say keep moving, stay upright. If you do need to sit down in a firm chair with hard handles. We don't want you sitting in a sofa. The problem with the sofa is you start to sink into it. It can be extremely difficult to get out, especially if you don't have a firm handle grip to get out of that chair. And it goes without saying, you really can't do much else. So there's no good lifting. The worst thing you can do is lift and twist. Vacuuming, cleaning, anything overhead is really not going to do you any favors. So keep moving and don't do much else. Ideally, go and seek help as well. From a chiropractic standpoint, we can do a lot with this to help get the disc off the nerve, to improve your movement, improve your function, and also reduce the pain and increase the likelihood that this is going to heal and heal properly. So I hope that's been informative. It's not the best situation to be in, but help is at hand. So if you find yourself in this situation, call us. This is our bread and butter. We see this day in and day out, and we're able to help people with it. Now, if you haven't already, like us on Facebook. We can find other videos on this. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in practice soon.